Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Easy Maths Lessons. And we are doing this series of fractions. And this episode we are converting between simple fractions, decimals and percentages. Now I know converting between fractions, decimal, percentages can be a bit tough. So I'm going to try and make it as easy as I possibly can. I've got this big chocolate bar here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take half of this chocolate bar. And I'm going to show you that fractions, decimals, percentages are exactly the same thing, but it's just a different way of saying things. So half of this chocolate bar is exactly what it is half, but as a decimal, I write half as 0.5, and as a percentage, I write half as 50%. So it's exactly the same thing, but just written in a different way. So now if I look at 3/4, now 3/4 is a fraction, and I want to write it as a percentage and a decimal. So if I look at 3/4, I need to find a percentage first, and I know that a percentage is out of 100. So if I can make my denominator out of 100, then I've got a percentage. So I know that 4 times by 25 is 100. And whatever I do at the bottom, I must do at the top. So 3 times 25 is 75. So now because I've got 75 over 100, I have got 75%. And that's it, I'm all done, that's my percentage. All right, so now let's try a decimal. Now a decimal, it will be something with a decimal point. So if I take my 75 over 100 that I've already found, and I can just do the division, so 75 divided by 100, because that will give me something with a decimal point. So if I now do 75 and I need to divide by 100, move my point 2 places towards the left, and 0.75, there you go. So now I've got it as a decimal as well. Let's look at another example. So this time I'm going to convert 8 over 20 again into a percentage and a decimal. So 20, if I times it by 5, I should get to 100. And because I'm trying to find a percentage, I'm trying to make it out of 100. So whatever I do at the bottom, I must do at the top. 8 times 5, which is 40, and now it's just 40%, and I'm all done. If I want to find a decimal, I'm going to take this 40 over 100 because it is going to make my life slightly easy, and do 40 divided by 100 and divide by 10, divide by 100. That will give me 0.40, but I do not need that last 0. It is no need for it, and therefore 0.4 will be my final answer. Okay, this time I'm going to convert 45%, so I've got a percentage, into a decimal and a fraction. So 45%, I know that 45% means 45 out of 100. And then to get to a decimal, I just do the division. So divide by 10, divide by another 10, and there we go, 0.45, and that's my decimal. If I want to do this as a fraction, I'm going to start exactly at 45% and I'm going to redo it to 45 over 100. And all I now do is to simplify. So I can see that 5 will go into both 100 and 45, because if I look at my divisibility tests, I know if it ends in a 5 or a 0, it will be divisible by 5. So 5 goes into 45 9 times, 5 goes into 100 20 times, and there we go, all done. I now have a fraction. So 45% as a decimal is 0.45, and as a fraction is 9 over 20. Now this time I've got a decimal, and this decimal I'm going to convert to a percentage and then a fraction. Again, because I know that a percentage is out of 100, I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it over 100. And there you go, 32%. So all I needed to do really was to times this by 100 and I'll get my percentage. As a fraction, I'm going to take the 32 over 100 and simplify it. So I'm going to half it because they are both even numbers. So I'm going to half it. And I can half it again. Alternatively, if I spotted it the very first time, I could have just divided by 4 to skip this middle step here. So now I've got 8 over 25. Nothing more I can do apart from saying that's it. Okay, now it's your turn. Press pause, have a go at it, find all of the fractions, decimals, percentages that are missing, and then when you're ready, press play, and I'll have the answers ready for you. Here you go. How did it go? Give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment in the comment box to tell me about your progress. And you can also find me on Twitter at Easy Maths Lesson, on Facebook Easy Maths Lessons. There's a group and a page. And I'll see you next time.